Yeah, we have some of the. So, what I heard say is, I'm thinking as here because my sure if you said it's like my session on Monday and you said wait. What's that? Yeah, right. Okay, so there's a second page that gives you like my website. It says you about Rotary, it shows how the offers and these events and all the. Yeah, I think maybe I need to make it since it's 2 page, it's down there. It's somebody. I don't know what the PD. So if you there's kind of a scene.
Over there to lead us with the national anthem. What is your increase? The United States of America is to free republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today, being you see, I belong to be alive. Was so proud of me, and this why lights last week. We saw stripes and bright stars in the air. For the rain, our sweet wash, crystal now and peace. God is of thirsty air, April through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our invocation will be by Dawn Kroger. Please remain standing.
Good afternoon. You'll bow your heads in prayer with me. Dear Lord, help us today to see our opening prayer as a conversation, really believing you hear us and care about what we say. As we enter Holy Week, we are reminded that you are a perfect Father who listens carefully to his children, desires the very best for us, and loves us. We thank you for this family of Rotarians to which we belong, and ask that you bless us so we may love others. Please bless this food, the hands that prepared it. Please bless our speaker today and her work in our community to bring people together. And please guide all those involved with and participating in this week's World Affairs Conference. May we hear and respond to what you are laying on our hearts for these young people. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Dawn. Want to thank our greeters, Eric and Marcy. Thanks for collecting the cash over there, Eric. Our social media today was Greg Farrell. So thank you for that. Yes, sir. Introduction of guests, Carly Kovitz. No guests today. I know we have a couple of, at least one Coates Mustang in the house, right? A couple. All right, cool. So students, Deb will handle them in a second. Come on up now, Deb.
Okay, while they're coming up, thank you, Dawn, for that prayer for conference this week. And I ask you prayers over me. It's been a rough couple of weeks. I don't know if you know, but my brother died 2 weeks ago. My mother had a stroke, and I should be on 4 phone calls right now in that regard. So I could use prayer this week with the conference coming. And with that said, I just want to list off the volunteers to make sure that I haven't missed anybody. I got Doug Watkins, Doug Busby, Christina Doherty, Jackie Ferretti, Mary Jo Jamie. And I think I took a picture of the wrong list. So I'll do it from my head. I got Dawn, got Ellen. I have her daughter Stephanie Willett. Did I miss somebody? Mary's on the, and Mary. Actually, I have you on as well. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so with that said, thank you, volunteers, and I'll see you all on Thursday. Please remember, if you're here to grab your name tag and wear your name tag at the conference. So with that said, you know, many of you know, you think that I'm with Morgan Township, which I am. That's where I landed when I got married, when I moved into the farm. But I actually am a Mustang. So I jokingly refer to myself as a muskie. Do you get it? Not everybody. It's not okay. So it's my pleasure to introduce the CAP students.
Hi, my name is Ellie. I'm a senior at Couts. The college that I got accepted into that I will be attending in the fall is Bethel University over in Mishawaka. And I'm going to study elementary education with a minor in special education. Oh, okay. So my dad's name is Josh Malone. He's an operating engineer up at the mill. And my mom's name is Katie Malone, and she is a preschool director at Couts Christian Church. Some organizations that I'm involved in are Awana at my church, First Baptist Church in Couts. I'm the secretary of the Honor Society at our school, and I'm part of a club called SCCLA that one of my teachers is in charge of, and I am the president of that. And then I just voted president of SCCLA, secretary of Honor Society, and I've gotten academic honors. And some of my career objectives are just, I'd like to be a kindergarten teacher because I like little people, But really, I just like the elementary age kids, and they're pretty fun to be around. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Joe Vick. My parents are Larry Vick, who is a maintenance operator at BP. And then my mom, Julie Vick, who's an administrative assistant at Valpo University, which some of you might know. I am a member of National Honor Society, just like Ellie. And I'm not like secretary, I'm just she's cooler than I am. And then I am a part of a youth group, which is like teenagers gathering to learn about God in like the Couts area. I was inducted in the National Honor Society, which is one of the coolest things that happened. Two other important honors to me are winning the Mental Attitude Award for basketball this year and winning the Mental Attitude Award for soccer this year. So that was pretty cool. And my career objectives are becoming a basketball coach and receiving my master's degree at Valparaiso University, where I'm accepted into to go in the fall, and I'm going to be studying sports management there. So.
Thank you very much. Deb, are these your
Yes.
very important documents? Well, thanks for joining us, guys. It's good to see you again. And good you're here with us. This is what happens when you get old too. You have to look these over so you can see what's coming up next. We have a very special treat today for Sergeant of Arms, Larry. You gonna come up and join us today? He's on.
Thank you, Robert. What's your last name again?
Raver, Franco.
I'm sorry about that. This is embarrassing for the students that I haven't been here before, but I eat normal, so don't expect me to. They all know that here. Do that, so, yeah, they read the agenda and they saw my name in there and people were really sad. And think, man, I don't know if I want to go to Rotary or not. And I understand that. Robert only gave me 40 minutes, so just relax. And they go, what's the program? You're not in, are you? No, thank God for that. I got what's this force? I don't know. If you stand here too long, you can't move. They do that. Hi, Mary Jo. Hi, do that. Oh, there's Andrew. Holy cow, imagine that. He's chairman of our committee and sergeant committee. And he left me off the last rotation back a couple of months ago. And I fooled him. I'm still here. He didn't think I'd make it this far. That's okay. You're not 85. You don't understand. But anyway, good news. Oh, that's right. Good news. Uh-oh.
Just want to say thanks to everybody that was able to attend the OEO this weekend. Neil couldn't be here today, but last I heard, the unofficial report for Honor Survey that evening was just a little bit north of $450,000.
Thank you. Yeah, I know the other good news is I am gonna finish. Who else got good news? Anybody? Judy? Oh,
I just wanted to thank everyone who came out for our satellite club meeting last week over at Alphabet. Such a good turnout, and it's good to see so many of our new Rotarian faiths there to meet our club. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, just that you did attend.
Who else has good news? Oh, it wasn't done, sorry. Lost. That's good news. It's good news. You have any? Oh, that's good news.
Larry, I got,
Oh,
I got a,
I went to her.
no, I'm sorry.
You used to be important.
Not anymore. Another countdown moment, the awards keep on coming in for Cooper Carroll. This week, he was announced as a junior at Culver Academies. He's a junior. He was announced as a junior all-star boys basketball team, which plays against the against the seniors. So it's quite an honor. It's a big deal in the state of Indiana. So pretty pumped for Cooper.
Thank you. Congratulations. They didn't inherit that skill from you, did they? Yeah.
Go get the
My time's done. You should have had 40 minutes.
Fair.
Thank you, Larry. Time does fly when you're having fun, doesn't it? So a few general announcements. You heard mention of the World Affairs Conference, April 14th. Deb, did you have anything else that you wanted to add about that? Okay. All right, she says we're good. Spring roadside cleanup, John Reed. Is John here today? All right, so that's going to be Saturday, April 30th.
I can just say, we need help. So please, I'm gonna tell you, the last time we did it, we had 3 Rotarians show up. That didn't look real well for our students, guys, so.
All right, so let's get a good showing out there on Saturday, April 30th. It'll be 75 degrees that day, I'm sure. Yeah. Mark your calendars for the day of serving, May 13th, 2022. That's going to be the Children's Leadership Conference. I'm sure Deb will have more to say about that in the coming weeks as we get closer to that. We're also going to have an international project report from Meenakshi and Mary.
Okay, this is a program which was. Can you all hear me? Okay, this is a program which was past district commissioner Ranjan Kinney asked us to participate in. It's from a club in southern India, which I'm not very familiar with. I've been to the capital of that state once. It's in Karnataka, and it's a place called Shimoga, which is about 5 hours from the capital. And it's, I guess, a small place, I don't know. And they must have a number of Rotary clubs because this is the mid Shimoga Rotary Club. And very interesting program, which Mary will tell you all about. It's called Madhwa Neeli program. Madhwa, of course, it's in the language of Karnataka, which is Kannada. India, by the way, has 22 officially recognized languages and many, maybe 100 dialects. But Madhwa means mother, or it's also a name for God. And Neel, according to my friend, it means water, but I don't know how that. And they have a number of chapters for this. I believe there's 8 chapters in southern India, but this one was started by some senior citizens who saw the need of help. And so Vikasa is the program, which is true, but Mary will tell you the details.
Thanks, Meenakshi. Good afternoon, everyone. So this project is a World Service Committee project that's been supported by our Rotary Club. And as Meenakshi mentioned, this is a project of a Rotary Club in the District 3182 in India with our district here, 6540. And what we're doing is supporting this project by a total of $14,000 between the districts kicking in $8,000 And 7 different clubs have contributed a total of 6,000. And the total project is about a $30,000 project, and they'll be getting global grant money and funds from the local club in India. The our contribution to this is $1,500. And the other clubs in our district who are participating is the Chesterton Porter Club, Wabash, LaPorte, DeMont, Lowell, and Munster. So we're in that group of clubs out of our district.
You want to mention what the project is about?
Yes, get to that. So the project is really an orphanage for children who come from poor families. And as most of you probably know, a substantial number of the population of people in India are poor. So these poor children are sent out by their parents to beg and rag pick and so forth. So this project in the orphanage that Meenakshi mentioned, of which there are several around the area, really take in these children as orphans with the approval of the parents. So they're given vocational training, medical, good nutrition, and, with the effort to try to, get them out of begging and rag picking. And over the last 15 years, they've been able to benefit about 300 children in this project. And also what's impacted the children there is COVID. About 160 children have become parentless due to their parents passing away because of COVID. So this program has stepped in to help those children as well. So the funds will be used for, there's a host of things, but I believe with all the funding coming from our side here in the United States with the partnership with the India district, they have raised the funds that they need for this project. And the funds will be used for facilities that will provide better medical care, dormitory support, sports and sportswear, public address system, a washing machine, a bus, a solar system where they can generate hot water and lighting, more vocational training, a library and recreation area, water purifiers, and fire safety equipment. So that is the project that our club is involved in, and thanks to everybody for helping support the grant as far as the funding.
I wanted to mention, I did look up the club, the host club on Facebook, and there wasn't any recent posts, but from their old posts, I saw they were a very interesting club. They even sponsored a chess tournament for girls. So if any of you want to investigate further.
Thank you for that. Very informative. Before I bring Doug up to introduce our speaker, Rick, congratulations on the great event Saturday at Blue Chip for Opportunity Enterprises. I know there was a lot of us that were there that night. It was a great turnout, great event. So Rick, you did a great job as MC, and so it was great to see everybody there. So great job. It's good to just get everybody back together into a room like that again. So we're going to move ahead with today's program. We're going to hear from Katie Abel from Valparaiso Events, and to tell us all about Katie is past president Doug.
Thanks, Bob. I have to say, one of the life's simple pleasures is following Larry Rager as Sergeant at Arms. Can only go up from here, right? Sorry, Larry. I've been involved with Valpo events for, over 10 years. I started out in the logistics committee for the Popcorn Fest. And one of the reasons I did volunteer is, I like to throw parties. And Valpo events throws big parties. When you got 50,000 people show up for your party, that's pretty cool. So I have the pleasure of introducing Katie. It's our speaker today, and I've been on the board now 6 years, currently serving as board chair. So I was deeply involved in recruiting and hiring not only Katie but Tom Tom, if you'd stand, Tom Clifford is our marketing and events manager, joining Katie today. And we are just so appreciative of the board of them stepping in May of last year when we had to replace the entire staff. And we had Wine Fest like the next day. And so they did a stellar job of get us back on track, especially after 2020 when we had to cancel all our events. So let me tell you about Katie, and I'll just turn it over to her. She was born and bred in Valparaiso. Katie's first memories of the Popcorn Fest include insisting her parents buy her a ribbon crown each year and setting up a lemonade stand outside her Franklin Street home to make a decent profit for a 7-year-old off Popcorn Festival goers as they trudge back to their cars. Little did that 7-year-old know she'd come full circle and eventually be in charge of the entire festival. After attending Central Elementary, then Franklin Middle School and Valparaiso High School, Katie studied communication and theology at Valparaiso University, where she began dabbling in event planning as the fundraising chair for her sorority. After graduating with honors, she relocated to North Carolina, continued to hone her event and programming skills as an associate program manager for a large youth group in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Her next move took her to Charlotte, North Carolina, where she served as event coordinator in the Conference Reservations and Events Department at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, and received the UNC Charlotte Distinguished Staff and Leadership Award. Katie was then recruited by the Charlotte Regional Visitors Authority as Destination Services Manager for Visit Charlotte, which is a convention and visitors bureau for the city of Charlotte. During her tenure at First Charlotte, she worked with various corporations and organizations who selected Charlotte to hold their conventions and events. This included everything from small board meetings to annual conferences to strategic citywide events such as the NBA All-Star Game and the Republican National Convention. In early 2021, Katie earned her certified meeting planner designation from the Events Industry Council. When the pandemic hit, Katie was able to keep her job despite the dire effects on the events industry. And if anything good came from the pandemic, it was the realization that she wanted to relocate closer to her family and hometown. With perfect timing, the Valparaiso events job presented itself, and Katie jumped at the chance to bring her expertise and experience to her hometown. She is honored to continue and grow the legacy of Valparaiso community events and festivals and events. Having recently purchased a home in the Banta neighborhood, Katie is here to stay, and I'm excited about the future of Valparaiso events in our city. And I will add, it's kind of neat to have both Katie and Tom, who graduated the same year from Valpo High School, to be on the team. So with no further ado, it's a Rotary welcome for Katie.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm really grateful to be here and excited to speak to you all. I see some familiar faces as I've been meeting people over the last 6 to 8 months, but if I don't know you, please say hello afterwards. I'd love to chat. I know many of you are familiar a little bit with Valparaiso events, most notably being the Popcorn Festival. The Popcorn Festival is the main event that birthed Valparaiso events. First held in 1979, it was the Orville Redenbacher Day of Appreciation. And then the committee that put that festival on in 1979 continued to do so year after year. And I think it was about sometime in the mid-'80s when they became incorporated as Valparaiso Community Festival and Events Incorporated. And then over the years, it's grown, especially with the way that our downtown has blossomed to include more events and become known as Valparaiso events. You can see here our board. We have an excellent board that without their support over the last 8 months, Popcorn Fest might not have happened last year, to be honest. Doug took over as chair in January, and we're really happy to have him in that role. And then as Doug mentioned, Tom Clifford is here with me as well for moral support. He's our executive event and marketing manager.
And then Jessica Harmon is our part-time admin, and she's holding down the fort in our storefront, which we have off of Lafayette Street. So please pop in anytime and say hello. So in addition to the Popcorn Fest, we have a robust slate of events that we hold throughout the year. And I just wanted to go over those for you. The first one we have is Chocolate Walk. This event is sold out as of last week. So if you didn't get your tickets, stay tuned for something very similar in fall. But this is a way that we'd like to engage our downtown retailers and downtown business establishments. People purchase tickets and then they will go from restaurant to restaurant or retail store to retail store collecting chocolate treats. And by the end of the day, they have a huge bag of them and they visited places, hopefully made some purchases, learned about some new stores that they can then be a patron of later. And then next up, June is when we really kick things into high gear. We start with our summer outdoor movies. This is one of our free events that we offer to the community. We're going to have Shrek, Up, Encanto, and Wizard of Oz. And then we have some excellent partnerships with various organizations to offer pre-movie activities. So the South Shore Brass Band will be playing on the June 14th. Memorial Opera House is going to have some actor volunteers come dress up as Shrek and then the Wizard of Oz characters. Kids will really get a kick out of that to take their picture with Shrek. Hopefully they won't be scared of him. So we're excited about those events in June on Tuesday nights. And then at the end of June is our Valparaiso Art Festival. We work with a company, Amder Productions, that curates art festivals all across the nation. And we're also working with the Valparaiso Creative Council on this. As well as the city with some new art installations they have going up in downtown. So that'll be the last weekend of June. There'll be about 75 curated artists that were selected from a jury panel and with fantastic work. So please, if you're able to come out and do some shopping for a one-of-a-kind piece for your house at the end of June, we'd love to see you there. And then perhaps many people's favorite is our summer concert series. So this year we have extended the series to 8 concerts. We have a great lineup. We're excited about it. We'll have Valpo Velvet Ice Cream, Forefathers Brewing, some popcorn vendors there so you can sample a little bit of everything while you're listening to some great music. And then our wine festival. So wine festival is the end of July. We'll have about 800 to 1,000 attendees in Central Park Plaza with various distributors. I think last year we got about 60 different wineries and distributors. So Tom and I are busy working right now to invite those same people back and hopefully get more wineries from Indiana. Tickets will go on sale for that May 18th. So if you're a wine connoisseur, please mark your calendar or reach out and we'll be sure that you can get a ticket. And then one of our initiatives, we actually worked with the Valpo Chamber, I see Rex here, and the city is Shop Valpo. And this is a push to encourage people to shop local and utilize our local small businesses first when you're thinking of making purchases. So along with the Shop Valpo initiative, we host Sidewalk Days, which is in the first weekend of August. It's where various retailers downtown that would like to participate set up outside. They'll have some sales. You can get some back to school shopping done. And it's just another way that we like to support our downtown retailers. Then there's the big one, Valparaiso Popcorn Festival. This year will be the 43rd annual festival. Somebody at one point told me that festivals of this sort usually have about a 12 to 15 year duration before they kind of die. So the fact that we're on our 43rd year is very impressive. And it's a huge testament to the previous leadership and the board of Valparaiso events that we're still going strong. And, at least I plan for us to hit our 50th in 7 more years. So The Popcorn Festival itself will be on this Saturday after Labor Day, as always. As of this morning, our administrative assistant tallied our vendor applications, and we have, I wrote down 154 approved vendors, and that's just in the first month and a half of the applications being open. So typically we have about 250. So we're hoping with that initial number, we can get up to close to 300 this year, really grow it. These vendors are excited to be out and about again after a couple of years of not being able to do things of this nature. And then, of course, we have the parade. And right now there's about 29 entrants into the parade, but we know from last year it was up near 100. So we have to limit the parade so it doesn't take too long. So we're looking at about 80 entrants for the parade total. We're also looking to add some pre-festival activities. Last year, just given the pandemic and the turnover in staff, we didn't really have the bandwidth to do much the week leading up to the festival. But this year we're partnering with Greg Sims. He hosts the Matchbox or Hot Wheels race, which he said last year there were about 1,000 people that came out to race the little Hot Wheel cars. It's a really great kids event. So on the Friday before the festival, we're going to do food trucks in the Hot Wheel race. And then we're thinking about doing a Thursday night concert as like the festival kickoff. So watch our website and social media for more information about what's going to be happening those 2 days leading up to the festival. And then our second largest event is the Valparaiso Brew Fest. So tickets are on sale for that. They're getting close to sold out. So if you are a craft beer lover, please remember to go on and buy your tickets before they do sell out. That's the last Saturday in September. It's always a great time. There's usually about 3,500 people that venture into Central Park and enjoy all the beer they can for that afternoon. Last year, we added on a Brewfest kickoff, and this is a great relaxing evening beforehand for those that don't maybe want the scale of the Brewfest, but something a little more low key. It is free. There you can get the free tickets through our website, and we'll have the German band playing, as well as some food vendors offering authentic German fare. So it's kind of like an Oktoberfest right in our backyard. After that, in October, we have Downtown Trick or Treat, which is a joy. It was one of my favorite things we did at the end of last year. There are about 3,000 little kids dressed up. I love this little guy who was dressed as an inmate. And then we have various entities. A lot of the restaurants and shops in downtown open and have the trick or treating. We close down the roads, and then we also have booths for businesses not located in downtown. They set up in Central Park or around the courthouse lawn, including a lot of our police and fire set up as well. So it's a fun event for sure. And in conjunction with that, we have our Fall Harvest Festival, which is the next day in that Saturday in October. And this corresponds with the last day of the Valparaiso market. And so we just take the market and we make it really big and fall themed. We have bounce houses, caramel apples, apple cider, pumpkin painting. The majority of things are free. So this is another one of our free public events that people love. The crowds last year it was a gorgeous day for it. And as we've seen, people are just ready to get out and about. And so it was a fantastic day. You can see there that a lot of the kids donned their outfits again, their Halloween outfits. So it's very cute. This is a brand new event that I mentioned earlier. If you weren't able to snag tickets for the Chocolate Walk, keep your eyes peeled for this Autumn Promenade. It's in the same vein as Chocolate Walk, but it'll be all things fall, where you can venture from retailer to retailer, collecting sweet and savory fall themed treats. So think pumpkin spice and caramel apple and that sort of thing. And then last but not least is our holidays. So this is the first weekend of December, and it's a great event where we kind of revel in all things holiday season. We have live entertainment. There's ice sculptures, which you can see the Cinderella carriage that they made last year. Carolers, Santa, Candy Cane Lane, and a Holiday Express train along the courthouse. Retail open houses are also this weekend in downtown, and it's another one of our free events. And this past year, we added on, it became a 2-day event this past year. Typically, it was just 1 day. And we wanted to do a 2-day event because there's this cute little library garden downtown, if you guys didn't know about it, that we wanted to give some attention to. And so we were able on Friday night to do the kickoff at the Rotary Library Garden. It was a fantastic event. We worked with the Porter County Library to put this on. They were so thrilled that this year we're going to do it again, and they're going to do their open house in conjunction with it to really get a lot of people through their doors as well. So we had the carolers, you can see there, letters to Santa, it was decorated. TJ Middle School strolling strings played. The VHS varsity singers performed. Ice sculptures, ornaments, food trucks. So it was a really great event, and we love that space. And so we're grateful to have kind of a second park space downtown where we can do these things. So thank you for helping make that happen. And then we also, in addition to our events, we just have some additional initiatives that I want to be sure you know about. We do some scholarships for VHS graduates. Right now we have a committee that are going through a bunch of highly qualified applicants to narrow it down, and we present 2 of those. We'll decide by the end of the month. We also market and support Valpo and the restaurants and retailers in Valpo. So we have various, the downtown map. We also do things like this is a Travel Indiana publication specifically on the art festival, but also is encouraging people to come and spend an afternoon or a weekend in Valpo, and where they can stay, where they can shop and buy. The Shop Valpo initiative, which I mentioned, and then also the winter time, the start of the year is kind of a dead time for us just because it's difficult to plan outdoor events with the weather we have here. So this year we decided we wanted to do something for St. Patrick's Day. And so we thought of engaging with a few of our downtown restaurants and doing a bar crawl for St. Patty's Day. And we were able to connect with Self School and formed a committee with a lot of the Self School PTO who did a lot of legwork as well. And it was a fantastic afternoon. Lincoln Flats, Aftermath, and Stacks Bar and Grill participated. People bought tickets, which gave them entrance to these places that are usually closed on Sunday. Everyone donned green, dressed as leprechauns. It was really, really fun to see. And in total, we were able to present a check just last week to Self School for $17,350. So it was a really special thing we were able to do, and we're excited to do it again and then see if there are other initiatives and other groups we can partner with in our community. Tom and I are really dedicated to whatever event we're doing to partnering with a nonprofit in Valpo and helping to give back. And last but not least is how to get involved. So we're able to do a lot of the things we do through our obviously ticket sales for our larger events like Brewfest. We have a very generous community, and so sponsorships from businesses is a large thing, and also our memberships. So you can see here, this was as of middle of March, so the list has grown quite a bit. There's some people in the room that are listed, so thank you for your support. We have 3 different tiers of membership. Executive and business members are for businesses, and there's some different perks. I don't know if I listed them, but they are listed in the brochures you have on your table. There's also extra brochures up here, so hopefully everyone can grab one. For the businesses, if you are involved in a business, you just get some additional marketing and exposure for your business. We have some free billboard advertisements, tickets to our ticketed events. and just really a way to say that you support what we do and love this community and the quality of life we have here. Community members, it's $100. In addition to being able to support what we do, you also get pre-sale access to a lot of our, to every ticketed event. So that's Chocolate Walk, Wine Fest, Brew Fest, Autumn Promenade. So you kind of get first stab at those events. So we couldn't do what we do without our sponsors and members. So if you would like more information on that, we'd be happy to chat with you about that. And then also we couldn't do what we do without our volunteers. Doug can attest to this, having started as a logistics volunteer. Our staff is only 2.5 people right now, and our board is excellent. There's 14 of them, but they can only do so much as well. So we really rely on all of our volunteers for our events. If you're interested, we'd love to have you on board. It's everything from helping to collect tickets to helping set up and tear down, manning our Valpo events booth at tables and answering questions when Tom and I have to be elsewhere dealing with other logistics. So also office work. We'll always take people that are helping stuff envelopes and get vendor information out for the Popcorn Fest and whatnot. So we would love to use your talents however we're able. And then that's about it. So if you have any questions, we'd love to answer them now, or you can catch Tom or I afterwards, or Doug. Oh, yes, I had it in my notes and I didn't flip to it. For Popcorn Fest, we are also excited this year. We're gonna help market and go back to Popcorn Fest. For the Rotary Popcorn Open Golf Tournament, Tom and I are gonna help market and support logistically that golf tournament, so we can make it a really, I know it's always been a really great thing, but we can hopefully bring more eyes to it and make it more visible to the community as one of those pre-festival activities. So we're really excited about that.
I have a question. I don't know if Shakespeare in the Park was festival and events, or if it was a park department. Is that not happening this year?
So that's Chicago Street Theater that
Right.
hosts that. I know last year they had to cancel because of the weather. I believe they try to do it every year. I haven't heard anything differently yet from Sherry at the Chicago Street Theater. But that also raises a good point that our website is also a good hub for kind of all of the events happening in Valpo. So our event calendar is a great resource if you're, what's going on this week, what can we do this weekend? It lists all sorts of events, Memorial Opera House, Chicago Street Theater, the Parks Department, the YMCA. It's not just our events that are listed.
Also, did you, I may have missed it, you mention Birds of Paradise? Is that also your event, or is that?
So that's the city, but Birds of Paradise, thank you for mentioning that. And it actually is, was on the Travel Indiana article. So May 13th at the Rotary Library Garden, they're doing a launch party for it. Birds of Paradise is a local sculptor and a local illustrator that the city has partnered with, and there'll be about 7 or 8, maybe up to a dozen, I don't know the exact amount, of bird sculptures, birds that are indigenous to Northwest Indiana, located throughout downtown. And it's set up like a scavenger hunt. So there'll be a coloring book for kids and then clues. It's not just for kids though. You don't have to use a coloring book. They'll also just be regular clues. And it gets people out and about in a scavenger hunt through downtown and able to locate all of these beautiful sculptures that were locally made. So they'll also have a booth about it at the art festival too, but it launches middle of May, and I think May 13th is there when they're having the event at the library, Rotary Library Garden, to officially kick it off.
What were your biggest challenges had to deal with bringing a national political convention to Sherman? Do you have any interesting anecdotes you could tell us about that?
Well, I think so. This is for the 2020 National Convention. which ultimately didn't end up happening to the scale that we planned, obviously, because of COVID. But it was about 5 years in the making still, having to get vendors on board and venues. There were a lot of politics that went into Charlotte even accepting the bid and making a proposal in general. I think we all know that the last handful of years in politics has been rather contentious. So there was a lot at the city government level that had to be done for it to even happen. And then when they turned it over to us, we worked with the local committee that moved into Charlotte for a number of years to plan. And so it was interesting, just trying to balance the political fervor versus the economic impact that the event was going to have on Charlotte.
Thank you. Any last questions?
Thank you very much.
Katie, great job. We will donate a book in your name to the Porter County Library for being our guest today. Maybe we could find a kid's book on brew fests or something like that. All right. We have no other closing remarks. Next week is our leadership series speakers, A Seat at the Table. Dr. Gloria J. Burgess, international speaker and author. The host will be Deb. And then on the 25th, we're having a roundtable discussion and mentoring about the 18th meeting. So unless there's anything else, any other business, we'll go ahead and do the 4-way test.